Hi guys, Robbo46 here, welcome to round 8 of Robbo's Racing League on Valentino Rossi, the game on the Xbox One. This week we are racing at Catalunya. Let's go have a look to see how qualifying went. No surprises who was on pole, it was Dylan. He had about a second over anyone else. GSXR Matt was second, closely followed by Brandy Scales in third, who was closely followed by R. Moorland in fourth, who was closely followed by myself in fifth. Moorland 97 was sixth, Biker was seventh, FIFA Master eighth, and Gidsy in ninth. F1 Fan tried to qualify but unfortunately disconnected. He starts from 10th. There's only 10 of us this week because Pit Bike Rider wasn't online. I couldn't get a replacement for him. And Attempted DJ, he was online but for some reason wasn't joining the game. So only 10 of us. So 4 of us really close in qualifying, just like a couple of attempts between us. But let's go over and start this race. So second row at Catalunya. A track I'm comfortable around. So here we go. Off the line, the two factory Ducatis didn't move for me, so I went straight in between both of them. Of course, they are a bit further up ahead. So currently 5th. But as we go to the first corner, a bit of an incident between Moorland 97 and Biker, which we'll have a closer look at. Obviously, it's not the best view from mine, so we'll have a look at Moorland 97's footage. So he sets off. Ducati's moved for him. We're getting into the first corner. He does brake quite early and unfortunately gets hit in the back, which sends him across the curb. Now I'm gonna have a look at Biker's footage as well. So he went off the line in 7th place. You'll see how early Moorland 97 brakes, because look how close he just closes in really quickly. But unfortunately he goes into the back of him. So I mean, personally, to me, that's a racing incident because both riders made a bit of a mistake there with Moorland 97 braking really early, and Biker kind of like, I don't think he was aiming for him, but he just like went straight into him. So to me, that's more of a racing incident than anything else. But what I want to know is, what do you guys think of that incident? Do you think that I should be giving Biker 2 penalty points for that, or do you agree with that it's a racing incident? So let me know in the comments what you guys think of that incident. Like I said, 2 riders both made a mistake there, so I see it as a racing incident, but let me know what you think. So you did see me momentarily go into the lead, but I did go a bit wide. Brandy Scales goes a bit wide there, so we try to get up the inside of him, and we do so. So we're back into 2nd place. Dylan, of course, in the lead on that Tech 3 Yamaha. Matt just had a crash in 8th place, as did Moorland 97. So we come around to finish the first lap. R. Moorland just getting ahead of Brandy Scales, so R. Moorland just behind us now. So not too far behind Dylan at the moment. I was getting ready to try and catch him on the brakes, but unfortunately going into the first corner, Brandy Scales completely outbrakes himself and forces us both wide, which lets R. Moorland come past both of us and held us up a little bit. So we're back down to 3rd at the moment. So we've got a bit of work to do to try and catch up to R. Moorland and see if we can get back up to Dylan. 3rd place at the moment, not too bad. Almost went straight to the back of R. Moorland there. He put the brakes on really early into that corner there. So I don't know what people were doing in this race, but there was a lot of early braking going on. So definitely lucky not that I didn't actually hit him. So this is where I went wide last time. I completely cocked up my entry there. You saw me lift the bike up, otherwise I would have gone across the AstroTurf and probably got a penalty. So decided just to cock up the entrance instead of getting a penalty. Still in 3rd place at the moment. We've got Brandy Scales right behind us on the factory Ducati. Of course, we are on the Pramac Satellite Ducati. Brandy Scales comes underneath us. We went a little bit wide. I thought about going up the inside of him, but decided against it, just in case we had a bit of a collision. And just the final couple of corners. Out we come. See our Moorland just touch the curb there, but we got good drive out ourselves, which means that we can almost level peg with Brandy Scales, but that factory bike just a bit quicker than the satellite Ducati. Into the first corner. Everyone's happy. A bit of a slide there for Brandy Scales as he went on the curb. As we try to get around the outside of him, but as we changed direction, we actually collided a little bit there, which unfortunately sent Brandy Scales onto the grass. And as he came off the grass and went on the curb, his front washed out, so unfortunately he went down. Now we're back up to third place. Can we catch our Moorland? That was the plan. Of course, on lap 3 at the moment. Unfortunately, we didn't have any footage from either Matt or Dylan this week because when Matt tried recording, it just kept coming up with errors. And Dylan recorded the whole race, but for some reason his Elgato wasn't playing ball and his footage was corrupt. So unfortunately, we don't get to see anything from those two perspectives. Still in third at the moment. It's 1.1 up to our Moorland. We've got a big gap behind us. Brandy Scales fighting with Biker at the moment. And then come back the final corner. And this is the end of lap 3. Not much happens on lap 4, so we're going to skip forward to lap 5. Going into the first corner, we're actually closing in on our Moorland, but he goes across the curb, and unfortunately his bike was in the middle of the track, and I couldn't avoid it, and unfortunately crashed into it. So we're still in third at the moment, but obviously that gap behind is closed down loads. Brandy Scales closing right up on us. So unfortunately, a similar incident happened between me and our Moorland in Argentina when my bike went across the track and collected him. Obviously, it's out of our control when you crash, because we obviously can't control the bike when we're not connected to them. It's just one of those things, unfortunately. So we are trying to close back down on our Moorland. It's under a second. It's under a second back to Brandy Scales as well. So we've got to try and keep our heads down. Bit wide there from our Moorland, which allows us to close up even more, and we got really good drive out of there, which allows us to go up the inside. Not too wide, so we are actually into second place. Dylan obviously miles up the road as we start going downhill. Kind of can see Dylan on the map. Over the curb a bit there. Won't lose too much drive. Obviously you got now Brandy Scales and our Moorland slipstreaming each other. And I make a terrible mistake in the first corner. I go down gears too quickly, which unsettles the bike, and unfortunately I lose the front into the first corner. And down I go. We're actually back to 5th place now. Matt has just gone past us on the other factory Ducati, about 6 tenths ahead of us now. So I've got to try and catch up to him before I can see if I can catch up to our Moorland and Brandy Scales. Because we're over halfway now. This is lap 6. Trying to catch up to Matt. I kind of followed him across the grass there a little bit, but he went very wide into there, which allowed us to close up quite a bit. Obviously now I don't want to make any more mistakes. Trying to see where I could get past him. We went a bit wide on the exit there. Just looking for a way to close in. He was actually closing in on our Moorland as well, so our Moorland was starting to struggle on his tyres. See, my tyres are shot. I actually went for the medium tyres for this race, and I was really surprised by how long they lasted, because my hard tyres are usually gone by now anyway. So the medium tyres lasted just as long as the hard tyres. Well, it did for me anyway. So yeah, got a good drive out the last corner again. I think the last corner was my best corner because I'm really getting some good drive onto the start-finish straight. Our Moorland had pulled away a little bit into the first corner, not doing anything stupid. And then we close in on our Moorland yet again. Brandy Scales not that far ahead either. Matt went a bit wide there, which allowed me to come underneath him and up to 4th place. Now I had to see if I could pull away and catch up to our Moorland. So we'll see what the gap is at the next split. Very wide there from our Moorland. He started braking on the curb, which obviously you don't want to do, so that allowed me to close in loads. And this split, just over half a second. That little flip-flop there is where I was losing a bit of time on this Ducati, because it's a lot slower from moving direction than any of the other bikes, which is a bit annoying. So Assen is going to be a bit interesting for me with struggling to change direction. Yeah. Hopefully it won't be too bad, but it's just a bit annoying. So I don't think we've lost too much time on our Moorland at the moment. I think the gap is roughly about the same. Again, Brindy Scales just there in the distance, not too far ahead. And coming up the final corner. See what the gap is over the line. I think it's over a second now because he's pulled away a little bit. 1.2, so the gap has gone up like pretty much doubled. So now we've got work to do yet again. We're on lap 8 now. Not many laps left. Of course, we've still got Matt just behind us. He hasn't gone away. Crash for FIFA Master, who was in 9th. I think F1 Fan and Gidzy both disconnected during the race. F1 Fan said he had some sort of glitch, so unfortunately he had to quit. I don't know if it is the pause menu glitch where you can't get off it; it just keeps coming up. So obviously you can't race like that. Actually, looks like our Moorland had closed in a bit on Brandy Scales there, but Brandy Scales going across the gravel there. Our Moorland went very wide, so all in all we're closed up on our Moorland. And again, just trying to see where we can get him. We're just slowly starting to pull away from Matt now. Closing in on the brakes, 0.4 and 0.7 on Matt. Where could we get him? Could we get him? Oh, we're coming up to start the penultimate lap, so if I was going to get him, I had to do it pretty quick. At the final corner, our Moorland went on the curb there and on the grass by the looks of it, so that would have slowed his progress a little bit and hopefully given us a bit more of a chance to catch him. Closing in loads on the brakes. A bit of a moment there, and that actually gave him the animation, which unfortunately meant that he went into the grass. So we're up to 3rd place, 2.4 seconds behind Brandy Scales, and our Moorland had dropped to 5th place behind Matt now, because as he went through the left-hand part on the second corner, he went on the curb slightly, and because it's a sloped curb, your rear steps out. Unfortunately, that's what happened to him. He had the annoying side saddling animation, and off the track he went. So 3rd place, 2.2 behind Brandy Scales now. So we're actually starting to close in on Brandy Scales a little bit. Only 2 tenths at the moment. A crash there for our Moorland. He was definitely struggling on those worn tyres. That Honda not playing well this time. You just saw Gidzy disconnect there. So it's 2.6. So Brandon had opened the gap up a bit more by 0.4 of a second. What I didn't realise is that he actually had quite a big penalty. I think he said it was about 1.5 seconds, 2 second penalty. So I didn't know this at the time, of course, but I was still trying to push to catch him. Alright, so this is the end of lap 9. It is time for the final lap. 2.4. So we're closed down 2 tenths again. We've got Matt behind us. And he actually starts to close in on us a bit, especially around here. That gap had definitely come down to him. I went on the curb there, which made me lose a bit of time. 2.3 to Brandon. And 1.1 back to Matt. Now, I was actually just starting to concentrate on keeping ahead of Matt now. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to catch Brandy Scales because that gap was too big. And I was just trying not to make too many mistakes and keep it in 3rd place. Because I knew that at the final corner I was a bit stronger than Matt, as I made a bit of a mistake there, went in a bit too hot. So as long as he didn't overtake me before the final corner, then I knew that I had it covered. But you can see that arrow there. He is definitely closing in. A crash for Biker on the last lap. The gap up to Brandy Scales is now 3 seconds. So yeah, I didn't need to try and catch him now, because obviously that was going to be impossible unless he had some sort of issue, a crash or something. But you can see how close Matt is to me. But with only 2 corners to go, I knew that if he didn't have me here, then he wouldn't have me at all. And going into the final corner, we had it all covered, and we go on to take another podium. We've had quite a few podiums in succession now, but it's Dylan who took the win, followed by Brandy Scales in 2nd. I was 3rd, GSXR Matt was 4th, and then we got to wait a little bit for the next few riders to come through. Our Moorland, he ended up in 5th place. Then it was Moorland 97 on the Yamaha in 6th. And again, still just waiting for the final few riders. The Biker ended up in 7th, FIFA Master was 8th, Gidsy gets 9th, and F1 Fan gets 10th place. So that was the race results. Let's have a look, see what that's done to the championship. So extending his lead at the top is Dylan with 175 points. Our Moorland is still in 2nd with 138, but closing in is myself in 3rd with 122 points, and Brandy Scales closes in on both of us with 116 points. Moorland 97 is still in 5th with 88 points, but closing in on him is GSXR Matt, who moves up to 6th with 83 points. Pitbike Rider moves down to 7th with 73 points. Biker closes in within 2 points in 8th with 71 points. F1 Fan is in 9th with 58 points. FIFA Master is 10th with 48 points. Paradise in 11th, who's no longer racing, has 26 points. Gidsy moves up to 12th with 25 points. Tempted DJ is in 13th with 19 points, and J-Par Polus is 14th with 5 points. Let's have a look, see what that's done to the team championship. Apex Predators still at the top with 215 points, but we have a new 2nd place with Drag Queens with 184 points, 3 points ahead of Honda Britain, who are now 3rd with 181 points. Winging is still in 4th with 136 points. MP Yamaha Racing is 5th with 111, and Pitbike Masters is 6th with 107. So that's all the racing, and points all totted up. The next race will be next Monday, the 10th of October, and that will be at Assen. The weather, again, will be random, like it was for this race, except for this race gave us dry. So we may get a wet Assen, who knows. But anyway, guys, that is it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel for more content. I shall see you guys in the next video. See you!